All right, y'all, welcome to 94 Feet. This your boy, Skinny the Pebble.
I'm your boy, Cam Tatum.
Hey, and today, man, we got one of Georgia's finest, man. We want to bring to the table. King is in the building. What's going on, King?
Hey, what's going on, man? I appreciate you guys having me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? One brother to the next, man. I see y'all doing y'all thing. I've been following y'all on Clubhouse for a minute. Sir. I like what y'all doing, and I just want to hopefully I can add some kind of value and some kind of intellect to the table and just perspective, from a solid level.
Well, man, you not only you're a Georgia legend, man. We gonna bring it back down. You an East Side legend, man. We represent the East Side more than anything, man. We know DeKalb County's finest, man. Yes, sir, man. So, we just want, just bring you to the table, man. Just see, what you got going on, man. But we got the first question. Cam, what's the first question, man? We ask everybody that come to this table, man.
Man, the first question that we want to ask you, man, who was the first person to give you work? Who was the first person to make you go back to the lab and be like, hey, man, I got to go back and get my shit together?
I think, all right, so I say my first real test, my first real battle was Derek Favors. My junior year in high school, read-in. You know what I'm saying? That game was a real good game. But honestly, we kind of canceled each other out that game. That was a battle, but we definitely canceled each other out. But the first person that really just definitely outplayed me was, I wish I knew his name, but it was this cat over in Slovakia, man. He played for Inter Bratislava. He was an older dude, and it was my rookie year at the time, man. And he was out there looking like LeBron. Just picture LeBron, but white, that could shoot.
What are they called, Slovakians?
I don't know if he was Slovak or not, but he definitely was on he was on Inter Bratislava, man. So whatever your name is, man, shout out to you. I'm sure you know who he is. if whoever hear this, and they didn't play it in Slovakia, they know who I'm talking about.
To go back to talk about that game where you and D Favors talked about, man. As a lot of people may not know, man. Obviously, me and you played together at Tennessee. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I recall, if I'm not mistaken, following that game because you was one of our recruits, and I was already at Tennessee. Was that the game that I think Derek had like 40 and you had like 40 or something like that? Like, and y'all both had like 20 rebounds or something crazy or something like that. I can't remember.
Nah, that game, man, we might have both ended up with like double figures in rebounds,
like some 20 ball rebounds or something.
But neither one of us had more than 10 points. He definitely, if it came down to he was a shot blocker too at the time, so he outplayed me with the shot blocking. He was sending niggas shit left and right. He ain't blocked my shot. I ain't get my shit.
That's all that matters. You heard it first. Favors ain't block his shot.
For sure that he had a real good contest at the rim of mine though, but I went to the line and knocked my two down. So other than that, he had a nice highlight dunk that I could give to him. But other than that, man, shit, neither one of us. We both played. Most of our buckets came from like free throws and shit like that. I got a shot at the TC, man. Terrence Carter. He played his ass off. He had about 30, 40 that game. And I think Andre Malone that played with South Atlanta.
I remember Andre Malone.
Yeah, I think he had balled out that game. The South Atlanta had him at the time. So but everybody came. The highlight was me and Derek Favors. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't perform like everybody expected us to. Like, it was crazy. As far as like offensive wise, we both was like, I don't know, we was extra turned on defense that night. But he was the first person that I could say that stopped me. For sure. I ain't never been. That was my first time being stopped by a dude. You feel me? Okay. So that definitely made me want to get in there and work on my game and all that. He was the first real pro. In high school, on the high school level.
So let me ask you this, King. Just even before we get to the pro level, coming up as a kid and going through read-in and everything, who were some of your OGs that you looked up to? You know what I'm saying, on the East Side level, that said, "Hey man, these my OGs," or somebody in high school that you modeled your game out of?
To be honest with you, when I first got to read-in, I just started playing basketball, you feel me? I wasn't even supposed to go to read-in. I was pretty much damn near forced to go to read-in because Coach Green and Coach G, they seen some potential in me coming from Freedom. and potential that I didn't even understand at the time. They just kept calling me raw. He got raw talent, this, that, and the third. I wasn't even into basketball. I didn't care nothing about basketball at the time. I was more so into like football, you feel me? I was supposed to go to Clarkston.
CKT, rock and roll, baby. Okay, my bad.
I feel like if I went to Clarkston, I feel like going to Redan was like one of the second best decisions my mom forced on me.
Okay.
You feel me?
She didn't want to force tuck on you, man.
Shit, what was coach name?
Hartree.
He ain't come at us. If he would have came to Freedom and came and got us.
Hartree, baby. Hey, man.
That nigga ain't started hollering at me till after I done got good already. Till I started getting on draft boards and shit. Then he started saying, "Oh yeah, I man, you feel me?" But I was loyal to Green at the time. You feel me? They came in, got me out of middle school, put the work in. Shout out to Coach Ross too. He was the first person to really put the ball in my hand and show me, you know what I'm saying, show me what I ended up being. You know what I mean? Let me know I had a future in this for real. And then Coach Green and Coach G, they kind of took it and shit. My whole career, I got to chop it up to them three right there. Ross, Green, and G.
So, coming out of Redan, right? So, you know you're a volunteer. Put the orange on.
Yep.
What was your top 3 schools and what made you choose Tennessee?
See, at the time, my top 3 schools, I really was big on Florida, UCLA, and Tennessee. They was up there. But to be honest, I'm going to keep it all the way a stack with you, man. The reasons I went to Tennessee was far from professional basketball reasons, whatever. I really chose Tennessee because I just felt comfortable with it. You feel me? It reminded me of being at Redan. You know what I'm saying? As far as the team and just all that goes, you know what I mean? And that had very little to do with the NBA being in my future. You feel me? Shit. I committed my junior year. I wanted to commit after my first visit. I had such a good time, and it was the first school that I went to where the team took me in, took me out. I felt like by the time I got to Tennessee, it was niggas coming to me like, "Damn, nigga, how long you been here?" Like, I'm like, "Shit, nigga, it's my freshman year. I just been coming here for 2 years, just kicking it." You feel me? So it was like I just felt comfortable. It felt like a real family environment. And then, of course, when I got there and I started, you know, as far as the teammates and all that, I got the same, but from the people that pulled me in, shit, they pulled the carpet from under a nigga, man. I ain't gonna lie, it was all smoke. You feel me? I should have got up out of there every year I was there. To be honest with you, to keep it gangster with you. Straight up. After my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, I should have got up out of there every year, man. But you know, I made the decision to stay there because I was comfortable, man. I didn't want to get out of my comfort zone, man. I feel like.
So you was part of the Bruce Pearl recruited you, but it transitioned to the new coach as you got there, right? You were part of that, like your sophomore year, you playing on the new coach, right?
My junior year, that's when Conzo came.
Yeah, when Conzo came. Yeah. And so he had his whole different regime and everything. So it was a whole different ball game by then. Yeah,
I started in retrospect, I respected what Conzo and that whole staff, you know what I'm saying, brought to the table because they definitely put a perspective in with just walking a certain life as a professional and understanding that it's eyes on me and I have to, you know what I'm saying? He just taught me like the mature side of, you know what I'm saying? At that time, he definitely, you know what I'm saying, taught
you how to be a pro.
Taught me how to be a pro. You feel me?
Taught
me how to,
if I can elaborate on that, because like I said, I was a part of that transition too with Conzo, and that's what I just simply tell people. I said, the man just taught me how to be a pro, and it can go as far as outside of the basketball court. He taught you how to be a pro on and off the court. You know what I'm saying? He taught you how to conduct yourself because whatever you do off the court is going to be a direct effect of what you do on the court. And once I got older and became a pro, he was absolutely right. If you're a knucklehead off the court, you're going to be a knucklehead on the floor. So most guys, once they clean it up and they get their act together, there's some guys who's able to escape that and, you know, do the stupid stuff or whatever, but it don't last long. Most of the guys who are really successful on the court are guys who do the right things off the court, taking care of their bodies, not getting in trouble, doing other things that make themselves more marketable than unmarketable, if you will. Mm-hmm. So I know that's some of the things I used to always try to talk to you about when you was coming up and you was coming into Tennessee. Just Like, bro, you your own brand now. And then Konzo really started to get you to understand that just from a more of a relatable standpoint. So I could definitely, you know what I'm saying, I understand what you're saying from how he taught you, you know, just from the mindset standpoint.
Yeah,
for sure.
And looking back on retrospect, man, I feel like I would have been more. I think Konzo. I think it was all about time. I feel like they would have came. If I would have been recruited by Konzo and I would have came in under Konzo, maybe them extra 2 years would have probably been every shit would have went a little different. You feel me? But he kind of came in at a time where I was already like, man,
it was a different culture.
Fuck what you talking about.
This
nigga over here, you going from BP not giving a fuck to Konzo coming in,
micromanaging,
trying to put the leashes on niggas. Like, man, how the nigga get up off me, bro? So, you know what I mean? I decided to come back even after, you know, I got kicked off the team and everything. You know what I mean? But I came back because I respected, you know, I respected what he was bringing to the table. I felt like it was a bigger picture than what I was looking at it, thinking about it at the time.
If you don't mind, did you feel like when you did get kicked off the team, you felt like it was a real purpose, like you maybe deserved it, and he was doing it in a sense of
hell
trying
no,
to
nigga. When I one time I felt like I deserved that shit. I felt like that shit was lame as fuck the whole time, nigga. Straight up.
Yeah.
But
you just wish it would have been done differently.
I wish it would have been done differently. You feel me? Because like, and that's part of the reason why I decided to stay and come back my senior year was because I looked at why he did it, and like I kind of understood my role in it. So it was like, all right, nigga, I was fucking up off the court. I got caught, and I got to deal with But then I'm looking at the shit like, even I understood the consequences I was putting myself into. Technically, I wasn't supposed to be suspended for 2 goddamn games. You feel me? That's 10% of the season at the time. So I took that chance, but I got the indefinite treatment. But even though the whole time I was going in his office talking to him. Really, Marco, that was my main dog right there. Marco was the one that
Marco Harris, man.
Yeah, man, that nigga
Valleys.
pretty much in Valleys, man.
In
Valleys, man. I'm talking. Marco done told me so many crazy stories, man.
Man.
But yeah, I think, man, like, and then at the time, you know, I was figuring shit out. You feel me? Like, the guidance I did have, like, my OGs was, at the time, was like Rashawn McLeod, Larry Marshall. Them was the 2 dudes that I really, like, looked up, like, not looked up to, but who kind of was, like, trying to guide me. But even then, it was more so they'd tell me certain things and try to do their best to lead me a certain way. But that's different from, you know, certain motherfuckers who got niggas that's really doing things. Like, they'll just tell me and try to, and hope, basically they'll tell me whatever and hope I make the right decision. You feel me? Yeah. But at the same time, because they understood me, they can only talk to me certain ways for me to even get it.
Be able to comprehend.
So the way they kicked it to me was like, well, shit, I'm going to let you make your decisions, my nigga. You going to live and you going to learn. And I respect the hell out of them for that, because had they tried to be even more like, tell me what to do,
you gonna rebuff.
It was probably already, you feel me? So, and some of them decisions I made was me listening to them and taking them in the back of my mind, like, you know what I mean?
So on that same note, man, because, you know, me and Cam had this conversation all the time, you know. A lot of people don't know, like, all the troubles that come into the east side of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, DeKalb County, you know, even, you know, people think Tucker is a certain way, but I tell people, man, like, I'm on Brockett Road, dog. It ain't nothing nice on the Clarkson side of Brockett Road.
Hell no, man.
You know, I know, you know what I'm saying, Redan, you know what I'm saying, I got a bunch of homies, you know what I'm saying, that played at Redan before you know what I'm saying. Who were the people, man, that just really held you down, man? Because a lot of things gotta go right. Just even wanting to play basketball in high school with all the, you know, the distractions, you know, you got women, you got the streets, you got quick money, fast money, you got all that, man. Who some of your OGs coming out of Atlanta, man, and just based on that to just help you get to that level, and then out of all that, man, become a professional basketball player? Because we got a lot of guys, man, that we can go through this list. Me and Cam go through the list, and we say, man, this dude was cold. This dude was this and didn't make it. And for here, you somebody on the east side that made it. Man, you know what I'm saying?
To be honest with you, man, I just got to give it up to the folks that raised me, man. My mom and my pops, just my uncles. You know what I'm saying? And then my OGs, because you know, I moved from LA, from Pacoima, California when I was like 13, 14. It was just me and my mom's in Atlanta. So I didn't have no OGs. Like everything I figured everything I pretty much got this shit on my own just by living life. And you feel me? If I had this shit all figured out, shit, a nigga would be 100 million up or something right now. You know what I'm saying? With NBA rings, all kind of shit. But you know what I'm saying? Nigga just had to figure this shit out. So I gotta give it up to the people that raised me. That was always the voice in the back of my head when it came down to making certain decisions. And my mama for sure for guiding me and getting me she was the main motherfucker saying, like, she moved me from LA to Atlanta. She made me go to Relive. I feel like them is the two biggest decisions that got me to where I'm at now.
Man, I hate she didn't make you go to Tucker, dog. I'm just saying, I think
that's the other code. That nigga Green and G came to my games. They came to
man, I'm just telling you, man, because during that time when you was in high school, man, that's when we was really entrenched with Miller Grove, and Miller Grove was really, you know what I'm saying, running things. Man, shout out to Coach Sean, man. Real legend, man. Sean White, man. And you know what I'm saying, as you know, Tony, because you were a part of the Tony Parker.
Tony Parker, he was a freshman my senior year.
But Mufon came out with you, right?
Mufon was in my class.
Mufon, Manny Atkins around that
Manny
time.
Atkins in my class.
So I'm just saying, you and Manny at Tucker.
Man, that shit would have went crazy, man.
Jeremy Simmons.
See, the thing was
Jeremy was already gone.
But I mean, he would have had him at least for a year.
Yeah, you would have had him for a year.
They might go back to back.
They might go back on three-peat or something, man.
Man, it could have been so. I ain't gonna lie. It's so many schools that shit. I feel like it's a lot of. I could have went to Miller Grove. They really wanted me at Miller Grove. Mm-hmm. They wanted me at Steve. I said like me and Adrian Coleman and Kevin Dukes and Will, man. I can't think of Will's last name, but man, that shit, we would have went crazy. If I would have took my shit to the north side and linked up with Glenn Rice over there at
Milton.
At Milton, that shit would have went crazy. They had a shooter named Brody, a white boy that played on the AU team. He was a great. So I feel like it's a lot of places. Shit, Columbia. You feel me? It's like it was so many.
I rep the East Side, man. But
oh yeah, you see, 4A. I'm 5A, so
I don't do no orange, bro. I don't do no. Hey, shout out Columbia, man. Look, my brother came out of Columbia, man, but I do not. I'm maroon and gold all the way, King.
See, that's a 4A thing back then. See, you know, we weren't in the same region, so we didn't have I don't have no reason to look at them like that. But far as rivals, like Stevenson was the only 5A school I probably would have considered really just fucking with at the time. I'm trying to think of some more. It was a lot of schools back then, man. But
East Side was hidden in, man. You can't really it was hidden,
man. Come on, basketball then at that time, that shit was cracking in high school.
We had schools. You know, me and Cam talk about this all the time. You know, just with the East Side, and it's just crazy now because a lot of the schools on the East Side, like the other counties, the school systems are better, the facilities are better, the athletics are better. You know. So now, you know, Wheeler, you know, can come and get your talent. You know, the Gwinnett schools, the Norcrosses, you know, the Graysons of the world now, they coming to get your talent. Just not saying that South Gwinnett, you know, Lou and Mike, like, they made South Gwinnett what it was. But for every Gwinnett County school, back in our day, we could name 3 and 4 and 5 DeKalb County schools for every Gwinnett County school. And now it's like, you say DeKalb County school, it's like,
who is the big dogs in DeKalb County?
All you still got is Tucker. And in basketball, I mean, Hartford just came out a Final Four in the Elite Eight. You know,
but why do you think that is, though? What do you think it is making it?
Man, have you, you go to one of the Gwinnett County schools, like I was just telling, you know what I'm saying, my man Harry, Gwinnett County, I mean, they got 3 and 4 and 5 different uniforms, man. They doing instant replays, the facility. They got money.
Stadiums. Each one of them got their own football stadium. And us, all our schools, we had to go meet up at Panthersville and all that. They go play each other in the Cap Stadium. You know what I'm saying?
I remember at the time being in high school, I used to love playing at Miller Grove. I used to love playing. I never played at Tucker, but I know y'all gym was fire. It was
not
another
like
school.
New one, though. Not like that new school, but that new Tucker gym, we ain't had that.
I ain't seen Tucker gym in a few years.
Yeah, you had. You came and worked out with me a few times over there.
The one that got
they rebuilt it since then, or that's
that's the new one.
That's the new one.
Look, damn near like Miller Grove, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
we had the old one.
We had
that was terrible.
The bomb shelter we had.
Y'all should look like Redan.
Nah, y'all gym was better than ours.
Redan look better.
Y'all was better than ours.
Y'all
ain't had no windows.
But I ain't gonna tell you no story though. Y'all in Stone Mountain Gym was the hardest to play it, man, based on depth perception.
Yes, because of the background.
It was like college.
Yeah.
So like it was like how everybody went to school. Like when you go from high school to college, it's like, dang, why can't I shoot like this? Why my accuracy is off? It's because that depth perception. And people didn't really understand that at first.
I remember when we went to the where was the Elite Eight? Was that in Indianapolis?
Yeah, we was playing at we was playing in St. Louis. No, we was playing in St. Louis.
It was the first time we played on some shit like that.
In the dome.
In the background was mad, like, the depth shit.
Yeah,
I remember thinking like that shit.
Bro, it was messing.
But niggas kept saying shit like.
But you came out of Redan, so when you playing with nothing, because you got to think your goal right here.
You low-key had it.
All we had in front of us were cheerleaders. The rest was just that big back ass head.
Already have an advantage low-key. And
because you was used to playing with no backdrop. Like, we still had a backdrop because if you go into the old gym, we could lay the ball up. They still had the pads on the wall right there. Then you had the back.
Oh yeah, we ain't had no pads. We just had we had too much space.
You had too much space.
We gonna run into the cheerleaders.
Listen, Redan and Stone Mountain was the hardest gym to play in.
Damn, that's crazy.
Because it was just open, man. Before I segue to that, man, because we were talking off scenes, man. You had a great Dwight Howard story, man, going up one-on-one against D. Howard, man. And you know, a lot of people, man, sleep on Dwight Howard, on what he is and what he was, man. What's your story about Dwight Howard, man?
Tell me.
Man, my first time, first of all, seeing this nigga in person, I'm looking at this nigga like, goddamn, he look just like he do on television. Like, this nigga is nothing but shoulders with a little ass head, just muscles with a little ass head on top of the body. So it's
head and shoulders.
Head and the shoulders, nah, no cap. So, I played against this nigga one-on-one. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, man, I'm finna just let this nigga shoot. I ain't gonna let him back me down. And me thinking I ain't finna let him back me down. I'm sitting there playing aggressive. Whole time, this nigga could have really just, move and do what he do. Nah, he ain't doing that. This nigga on the perimeter splashing that motherfucker. When I say splashing, he pulling that ugly ass, strong ass shot from back here, yanking that bitch. I'm talking about he was killing me. Knocking down every jump shot this nigga took. He could have easily just muscled me down and dunked on me or whatever, but.
So what you're saying is what a lot of people really don't understand. It's like what you see in the NBA game. Sometimes like what they don't understand. It's like that's their role. But like, man, a lot of these dudes really be having game, like.
Absolutely.
Something that you may not even see or that they don't even show because it may not be their role.
And with that being said, is if you want to make it to that NBA level and excel at what you do, accept your role and do it.
And excel in it. Excel in it.
Especially if you're good at something. Now, I'm not saying niggas who got the potential to do this, that, and third. Now, work on all that shit. And if you be able to put that shit together, put it together. And eventually somebody's going to see it and say, all right, we're going to get this. But, man, shit, a nigga like, all right, man, look. That was one example. I ain't gonna lie, we got to edit this shit. It's just got it in niggas. I'm over here stuttering and shit.
It's all good. No.
All right, so, but definitely,
he was a guy that made you, that was just kind of like, I see why he in the L. More so than what you know him for.
All right, so what he does is way better than he's definitely capable of knocking down. When we was playing one-on-one, he was showing me, and I'm watching him shoot and all that kind of shit. This nigga making 10 out of 10. Like, and I feel like a lot of motherfuckers don't realize the NBA, like niggas like Shaq, this nigga probably knocked down 10 out of 10 free throws. If you was to watch this nigga shooting in the gym, it's different from a game situation. The game situation is different. Dwight probably couldn't hit the rim in the game. But I don't know. Yeah. But I know what I seen this nigga was wet balling that motherfucker. So.
But I think Dwight don't get, you know what I'm saying? I think because the way the game of basketball is, not position, but like people don't realize, like, Dwight an OG in the game, man. Dwight been in the league since 2021. He was the #1 draft pick in 2004. Dwight's 17 years in the league, and he's probably more athletic and probably got more game than everybody. But the way the game is, he's not able to showcase his whole game. But if you go back to like 2010, 2011, 2012, ESPN had Dwight Howard like the third best player in the league.
Because at the time he was damn near the next Shaq. He was so dominant.
He was dominant. Defensively too, rebounding, scoring.
You can't teach athleticism, height, and the certain instincts that he got. Blocking shots. A shot blocker, that's an instinct. Niggas think because I was tall and athletic that I'm supposed to be a shot blocker. No, hell no. I know a nigga that is a half an inch shorter than me, can't get off the ground as fast, quick, or as high as I am. But this nigga is the best shot blocker in Redan history by the margin gap is.
Man, shout out to Redan, man, Eastside.
Shout out to Yannick Crowder too, man. That's who this nigga holds the shot blocker crown to this day. Yannick Crowder, man. No cap. These niggas like, oh, these niggas are going pros. Like, these niggas, like, been around basketball, I ain't never seen nothing. Like, to me, them was the best niggas I've ever seen in the world. Like, just from the extra putting in the work to, like, on the court. These niggas is getting buckets. And best when nobody on the team was just, like, I'm the first nigga that came, that I seen come through reading, and that was just averaging dunks and games and shit and this, that, and the third. So looking at Vest was getting buckets, just figuring it out.
Yeah,
Rob was a PG on both ends of the floor. Then we had everybody. Niggas was talking about big guards and shit. Like, man, the first big guard I didn't probably seen was this nigga named Walt. I can't remember his last name, but the nigga went to Newton. He came from Newton, then he transferred to Redan. He was the first 6'5", 6'6" nigga I didn't seen. Before it, after, man, I'm talking about going up. Then might just, if you break it down, come through the lane, whoop, bang it out. You feel me? After him it was Spoon. You feel me? Them was the first two niggas, and then I ain't gonna lie. Once I committed to Tennessee, and then niggas start, then that's when the legend of Cam Tatum start developing. Then that's when I started like Cam Tatum this, Cam Tatum that. Then I started realizing like, man, this nigga really doing motherfucking like. Then I ain't gonna lie. My first time seeing you as person is when you came to a Southwest DeKalb game, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was looking when I seen you, I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, so look.
That game was trash. Like,
look, quick backstory on that, right? I think we home. It was Christmas time. What?
It was a Christmas
time tournament, right? So like,
mind you, Southwest was trash.
My Southwest was boo boo.
So you in Tennessee coming home for Christmas?
I'm at home in Tennessee coming home for Christmas. So,
he was my OG before I knew he was my OG.
So, and he go to Redan, so I automatically just kind of feel like, cause I had been coming up in Redan factory, if you will. I went to Little Grove Middle School, and my brother went to Redan. So I had been coming up to Redan playing on Sundays with Coach Green and all the older guys that played Duke, Roy, Coop, all those guys. I was playing with them because I was supposed to be up next to come over there. Because my brother went there and he played there. So I had already kind of felt an allegiance to look after him because that was like almost, even though I didn't go to Redan was still like, them folks were still my family. Some of the OGs there. And to this day, I still rock with them folks. But anyway, I come home for Christmas and we in Tennessee right now. We rocking in Tennessee. Like, we them guys. So as he might say, like he said, I pull up. And I'm like, I kind of feel like that. Like I'm home for like a few days for Christmas tournament and for Christmas. And I'm like, Pearl kind of like, man, just go holler at or go check on Kenny. That's who we think he already committed at the time. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to go to a little high school game, show my face,
In my senior year.
Politic, whatever, show my face. So I go in there and I watch the game and like you just kind of say, it's like, it's just a boo-boo performance, just period on both sides. So, I think I go there. I might have went up there with my pops. My pops was like, he's like, that's the kid that's coming to Tennessee next year? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, he gonna have to come with it if Coach Pearl if he gonna want to get PT. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he good, but he was like, my pops was kind of just speaking on like, there's competition up there, so it's like, nigga, you going if you ain't dogging these folks here, it's gonna be hard work up there.
Right. And hold on. Before I want to get this shit on record, man. My top 3 best players coming through Tennessee history ever since I stepped foot on campus, and it's always been my opinion. I always said the shit, and I'm gonna stand on the shit right here, and I want the shit documented. Cam Tatum, number 1, Scottie Hobson, and the number 3 is like a toss up between, I want to say Wayne Chisholm, but I gotta give my respects to like JP. And if it's anybody I'm forgetting on top of that, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. Fuck it. But on top, then my Cam Tatum, number 1. Number 1, killer.
CT23.
And I ain't saying that shit because of nigga right here. Yeah, anybody that ever spoken to me, I've been saying this shit since I was a damn junior in high school. Since I came my first open run. And I didn't watch niggas like Tab, Dude Cruz, all kind of niggas, you feel me? But killer, number 1, hot, number 2, between Wayne and JP, that's 3 and 4. 5, that motherfucker's a toss-up. I ain't got time to even think about it. But, man, the solid way only, man. T-Sweat, man.
Show the jacket and everything, man. The solid way on. So, man, what you got going on, man, with your business and everything, man? I know you're transitioning.
All right, right now it's the solid way only. For right now, get at me, King God Kid Frankie on Instagram, or the solid way only on Instagram. That's how you get merch. The website is under construction right now. We still building. We still growing. So that's pretty much about it, man. Tap in with me to get more, man. For right now, this is all I got.
King, we got to get you back on 94 feet, man. So this can't be a one and done, man. Because hey, listen, I'm loving these Tennessee. I'm loving these Tennessee, this Tennessee route, this East Side love, man.
Hey, oh God, and look, one thing about it, another thing for sure. Brian Big Baby Williams, this nigga supposed to be coming out with a book, so y'all finna get a lot of this shit on that too. You feel me? So I'm trying to shout out all this shit. Yeah, when that book come out, man, then we own that. You feel me? I got books coming out.
Man, everything. So, hey, man, y'all make sure y'all tap into the next episode of 94 Feet Podcast, man. It's Derek, Skinny, the Pebble Williams, man.
It's your boy, Cam Tatum, man. Definitely got a lot more content coming for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be checking in with you guys real soon, man. Y'all have a good night.
Man, appreciate all the love, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, guys. We look forward to it.
Yes, sir.